died, his wife, known as Semiramis, became the queen, or she inherited Nimrod. Now later, Semiramis came to announce that the sun gods have revealed to her that their beloved king who had died, that is Nimrod, has now been exalted in a higher position, and thus he must be worshipped as the sun god. And so they began worshipping the sun. That is the beginning of sun worship. It didn't take long for Semiramis to come back to say that she had been impregnated by the sun god himself, and the child that she gave birth to was known as Tammuz. This is the origin of the mother and son worship that we see in this church today. You see a lot of pictures of Jesus, so-called baby Jesus, with Mary, with a sun disk on her head. And they tell us that that is Mary and Jesus. That is Semiramis and her son, Tammuz. Sun worship in its highest order. There is this thing in Catholicism known as beatification. Now, according to this system, according to this doctrine, when a pope dies, or when a bishop dies, and this person is high-ranking, after a couple of years, and this dead pope is able to perform miracles. In other words, when people pray through his name and they receive answers, then it means that this dead pope has been exalted into a higher position and must now be known as a saint. But we need to understand that you don't need to die before you are a saint. According to the Bible, God's people living are saints. We need to understand that. And so when Pope John Paul died, years later, the Pope who was there, known as Pope Benedict, organized a beatification ceremony for this dead Pope, where thousands of people from every corner of the world came to venerate this dead Pope. But one thing I want you to see during the beatification ceremony of Pope John Paul was how they carried his blood. Look at it well. Look at it well. Did you see that? You see these two nuns, these two Roman sisters walking there. What they have in their hand is the blood of a dead person. Look at it well. Look at how they bow to a human blood. My dear friend, this is blasphemy. This is paganism. And this is the system that Jesus Christ spoke about, that it is going to rise. This is Babylon, and we have been called to escape from Babylon. My dear friend, if you were a Catholic watching me, this is not an attack on your personality. The truth needs to be told. We need to know the truth and know how to worship God in truth and in spirit. The first angel said, "Fear God and worship him, the one who made the heavens and the earth," not a human being. The blood of Jesus is what saves us, not the blood of a human being. Look at this also. This is a dead, Catholic priest who died many years ago. He died around, 1968. But according to the Catholic belief, this priest had what is known as a stigmata. Now, a stigmata in Christianity, according to the Catholic Church, are the appearance of bodily wounds, scars, and pains in location corresponding to the crucifixion wounds of Jesus Christ, such as the hands, the wrist, and the feet. Any individual bearing the wounds of stigmata is a stigmatist or stigmata. Did you get that? So this dead priest here, known as Pedro Pio, had a wound on his rib somewhere. And according to them, the wound was a stigmata because it was corresponding to the exact location where Christ was pierced. And this wound was basically revered. And so when this man died, years later, look at Pope Francis, his body has been preserved and people pay homage to a dead human being. This, my dear friend, is paganism. It's paganism. It is not only that, but in this system that we are talking about, they have something known as relics. Now, relics, according to history, became ingrained in Catholic Church orthodoxy at the Second Council of Nicaea in AD 786, when the church authorities passed a law stating that every church should have a relic at its altar. What are the relics? Well, the relics are the remains of dead saints or dead apostles. Let me show you a few. What you see here is believed to be